I remember from Rival Series. It is not the same team.
They can be.
Which may be, yeah, they can be, but it may open the door here for an opportunity for Stay Fresh. I don't know that it will. Kyrian going to be off the mark, though, here early, and over one is Swift. Up against Yukis, going to try and bring it across, create a shot opportunity, but Kyrian there to break it up.
Yeah, when I've seen these guys recently, Yukis has been, I would say, their best player. They were slightly over-reliant on him in the grid the other day. So there is the potential for one of these players to be popping off and carry the other two if that happens, but we'll see. Let's see which version of Solary we get today. Hopefully it's a nice, exciting, entertaining one, because that's obviously what everybody wants to watch. I mean, it's looking good for them so far. Their third man's nice and far forward. Look at Exotic here. Just chilling on the halfway line, hoping that any second he'll be able to come in attack. Instead, he's got to defend for a second, set up a flip reset, but nothing comes from it. So Stay Fresh defending decently at the beginning, and just being able to beat Solary back.
Exotic creating an opportunity here. Defense is going to be able to get there. Down to Yukis. On shot on target. Just above Swift. Just under the bar. Right where it needs to be. And Yukis going to open this one up.
This is the last thing that Stay Fresh wanted. The clean touches are coming out from Kyrian to Yukis. Clean finish straight into the heart of the goal. And that early lead always makes it so much harder for the underdog, because all your preparation is about starting well, you know, building the momentum, convincing yourself that you can take this team down. Then they score within a minute and it's like, were we wrong? Do we really have a chance here?
Yeah, and this is one of those ones also, though, when you look at it, both teams took their loss today to BDS. However, one of these teams made BDS go to 5, and that was Solary. It was a 3-0 blowout on that line, which makes me... Oh, never mind. I have nothing to say. I'm backing out of that. Nazi, he's going to show up, score a goal, equalize, and we got a restart of the match here at 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Officially, that is a Nazi goal, but that's not what quite happened. Kyrian flew in to block his teammate's dribble, put it all the way in, and I think he does want to restart. He's saying, look guys, let's have a good clean match here. We don't want to win this too easily. We want it to be close. We want a challenge. And they're going to bring it to him. I believe in the Stay Fresh boys.
Kyrian in a Merc or the new truck?
Let me have a look. Kyrian.
I think he's in the truck.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's not quite a Merc.
Yeah, not quite a Merc. Not quite tall enough to be a Merc, but I like this car a lot. I just started messing around with it. I don't know if you were in the call when I was talking about it beforehand, but it's so big, but it's the Octane hitbox, so it's such a confusing car to me. Maybe it'll be the new Fennec, and suddenly everybody will be using them in the next few weeks. We'll see. It could well happen. Harbingers everywhere. Yeah, could be.
Well, so far it's going all right for Kyrian in that Harbinger of the Golden Crown as well. Look at that thing looking majestic all the way from, was it pre-season or season 1? The Golden Crowns.
No.
Oh, he's got a score.
Almost had it. Swift had that. I don't know. I see what he went for there. He went for a creative play. He had one man in net, though, who was driving full speed coming for the... Oh, my... Exotic! What is this?
Wow.
That's a Spaceman Babam!
I think that right may well justify a Babam from everyone. Chat should be Babamming.
That's a Babam!
Yeah.
Chat, I don't care if chat thinks that Babam's not going to be a thing. You should still Babam in chat right now, because that was a Babam.
I can't disagree. On that occasion, that is incredibly Babammable. What a finish.
It hit the back wall, it went buh, and then he finished it, went bam, and then Nazi came in, and he also went bam.
I mean, it was sort of Nazi's second goal. It was arguably his first, but Alex almost got the next touch. But in comes Nazi, and this game is just sort of shaping into something
lucky that worked out.
Quite entertaining. All right, now, super goals for both teams, and a proper goal, dare I say, for Stay Fresh, after the first one was an odd one, implying that Solary aren't taking this one too seriously. One more for Stay Fresh, and we start after, taking this seriously.
And it was almost a messed up situation there, or an opportunity lost. Exotic with a quick shot, but Alex making that secondary kind of touch there. Could have really thrown that one off. Nazi, he's going to make that save. Exotic, and try and bring this one out to the midfield for somebody. Looks for the back pass, gets the touch off the ground. So Kyrian going to boomer this one forward. Tries to bring it out off the corner. Double touch. Yukis up. Easy clear.
Yeah, let's try.
They're going to take possession. Stay Fresh.
Solary are doing this play a lot where they're knocking the ball all the way back to their goalkeeper to try and build from the back. Maybe something there. Figuring out, seeing if it works, but that will certainly work. Just whack it at the goal. Wait for a poor touch from Swift. Bish, bash, bosh. 3-2.
Really kind of forced a bad touch there from Swift was Exotic. He shot it right there looking to get it behind him. And in that situation, you have to just dead stop your momentum. You're going so far forward or so fast, so forwards. You're going places. You're doing it quickly,
fastly,
and you have to dead stop it. It really throws your save off, and he ends up getting a really ugly touch there. And Exotic knows that he's caught him awkward and stays in the play.
They come back though to stay fresh until UKIS challenges one of their defenders. It was Nozzy who got dispossessed. Swift can come forward. He shoots a snapshot. It's a good idea. Just put a little bit of pressure on Solary as much as he can. They won't lead to a goal, of course. 55 seconds left for Stay Fresh to try and get into this first game. One would expect that if they do lose this first one, the next ones will be even easier for Solary as opposed to any harder. That's normally the way it goes in these sorts of series. Exotic is making sure that Stay Fresh are penned all the way back into their half. Swift gets them free. Carrion such as awkward to the side. Now Alex can come forward. There is still time for them to do something here, but Exotic is too aware. Air dribbles away, and it's pressure again.
A lot of these times on the clears from Exotic and from the guys on Solary, they're clearing down into basically 3-man. There's nobody up to meet them in the midfield. There's no real presence there that's trying to maintain offensive pressure for the side of Stay Fresh, and that's kind of where they're losing out. Yeah, Nazi's found 2 goals, kind of. 1 actual goal, 1 kind of own goal, but look at what's going on the defensive side. He's had to be present for 5 goal saves. So he's been a huge player for them, but he's having to do a ton in the backfield, which isn't allowing them to get downfield, stay present, maintain offense, get multiple opportunities to take shots. And they're getting outshot 2-1 right now, 10-5.
Yeah, Stay Fresh are one of those teams, and there are always going to be them with this open qualification system that most of us won't know too much about. And I think of the 3 of them, it definitely was Nozzy that stood out the most. Not just for his goal, not just for his other weird goal, but also his general play. He seems to be the player that was most likely to nip in ahead of a Solary player and stop a passing play if theirs occurring. I think Swift and Alex were a little bit quiet in that game, but I would expect that they'd be able to step up to Nozzy's level. So hopefully going forward, we'll see a more fluent Stay Fresh defense and attack than we saw right there. But as for Solary, they're doing exactly what needs to be done. You know, they're staying patient. They're not getting silly apart from that own goal, and they're clearly very confident that the goals are going to come.
100%. They're a team that knows that they're going to be able to score goals against this team. And I don't want to say they're playing down. They had a couple situations that turned into goals for the other squad, but they're Exotic going to open this one up early off the pass from UKIS. 9 seconds in. Easy goal for Exotic as he gets up, makes the touch just over the top of Nozzy. But they're a team that knows that they're not having to play to their full potential or speed right now. They're fine with slowing it down. If you're going to give them that much space on the field, sure, we'll slow down. We'll let you bring the ball down and just clear it right back and then take shot opportunities. And if they start to speed up in any situations, they get a bit sloppy, and then they're going to capitalize on the mistakes that come with that speed up of Stay Fresh.
Just onto the backboard, Nozzy and Alex double committing there. They'll have to work on those, and they go over the demos of these games and the replays, trying to see what went wrong against a team like Solary. Because, I mean, also, you know, series like this, such a huge chance to improve. They'll learn stuff from this series. They'll be absolutely massive going forward. Hopefully they'll do something similar to what Barrage did, where they then come back in the next regional, in Regional 2, and they are ready to compete at that level.
Yeah, this, for a lot of these teams and some of these guys that, you know, this is the first time on the big stage or really at an event even close to this level, right? Rivals doesn't exist anymore, so there's not that step. You're kind of skipping what used to be that mid-ground. You're going straight to the big league. And making it here is a moment where you are going to have some realizations. You're either going to come in and you are going to shock the world, or you are going to find where the holes in your game are. You're going to have to go back, do some VOD review, and you're going to need to figure out what the problem is and clean it up. And these VODs and these replays are going to be invaluable to this team.
Yeah, they'll improve them so much. We're seeing it across the board where teams are stepping up. You know, if you look at the first regional, Stormtroopers did really well. I believe they made it to stage 2. Then regional 2, they didn't even qualify. And that's because the teams around them just stepped up a little bit further, and suddenly Stormtroopers had to work just to make it here. They've now been picked up by an Org, and they are here again. Not sure how they're getting on today, but they're an example of teams that, can't afford to slow down even for a second, because the pack is moving up. And these are the sorts of games that really elevate that, because Solary, they probably wouldn't scrim Stay Fresh normally. It would be very difficult for Stay Fresh to be able to play against opponents of this quality. And now they have the opportunity with something on the line, and they just have to take these lessons as they're coming in, and also take the chances as they come in. While we've been talking, Stay Fresh have launched an attack of their own. Yukis and Karen both on the backboard. Good pass from Swift and a good goal.
Yeah, bad decision there from Carrion, which ends up opening it up, leaves Yukis awkward, and then tries to make a really kind of tough challenge there in the corner and just can't get it. That one gonna fall on his shoulders for giving that one up. But yeah, these are moments, as you said, they don't normally get to see these teams. So, Yukis gonna pound one in on them. 2-1 as they go ahead and get that goal back after giving one up.
Right now, it's Stay Fresh not quite being confident enough to only send one man to the ball. They're double committing a lot into fence. When the infield passes are coming in, you're basically getting
100%.
both of them driving straight to the person who has the ball, as opposed to one player blocking the passing angle and the other going for the ball. That's almost a third from Exotic with some solo play. But I'd say that's the biggest thing that Stay Fresh can take from this, from what I've seen. I'm sure they'll sort of uncover more as they look at these properly. But defending can definitely be improved fairly easily by not doing that.
I would 100% agree with you. There has been so many double commit situations. That one almost going in as Solary.
That's better.
Big opening in the backfield. Yukis should have Swift beat here. He's going to beat it downfield. Nazi, Alex, both up. Again, another double commit. Open net, shot high. Alex able to pinch that one out. Kieran going to keep it alive. Out to Exotic, who's going to touch it in. Because of course he is. It's Exotic, and that's what he does off infield passes.
Yeah, lovely finish. Kieran's touch was so high. Normally you'd see that being intercepted, but not at this speed. I think Exotic and his teammates are realizing they can pretty much have the control of the play in the opponent's half. So they're having a lot of fun right now, which is nice to see. Lots of infield passes coming from Solary. Toying with their food a little bit, some would say. But we're close. We are near for Stay Fresh being able to compete at this level. It's not a million miles away, but when Solary get the passes, it's not being saved.
I mean, they can play at this level, but they're playing at this level. They are a team that qualified in, and they are playing in kind of in that position, right? The defense just is lacking.
No way.
Offense is there. No, Exotic's not going to be able to get that one in. Nazi, he's going to go ahead and bring this one out. The offense is fine from them. They have created some opportunities. They can get in there. Right now, they're just overcommitting. Like, they just feel like they're behind. It just feels like they're all ball chasing now. Swift, Alex going to collide again. I was trying to say offense was looking good. They had some attacks that were clearly plays, passing plays, etc. But it's really starting to turn into an every man for himself thing here on the side of Stay Fresh.
Yeah, they're just losing faith in their shape a little bit in their teammates, which doesn't need to happen.
They don't have shape.
Exactly.
Shape's
Yeah, okay, they have lost shape and faith in their play style. So I'm hoping that they'll see this game away and then have a bit of a stern talking to amongst themselves and say, look, we're probably going to lose this series, but let's at least make sure that we're gaining experience in the way that we want to play Rocket League, because everybody bull chasing, playing like it's a ranked game, isn't going to help them in the long run. Whereas if they can at least, even if they lose by more goals playing their way, they'll learn about that specific play style.
Yeah, the opportunity for them right now is to basically look at this game and say, we need to clean up. We need to stop double committing. We need to get comms better. What can we change? What can we do? At this point, start throwing different strategies. Whatever you have in your playbook of different looks that you can create or different speeds you can play at, run one for a minute and a half. If it doesn't work, switch to the next one. Figure something out. At least turn this into a learning experience and create multiple looks and see if there's anything that does stick. Because having good things on tape is just as important as having bad things on tape. What did work? What didn't work? Those two things need to both be clearly shown in the VOD so you can tell what to pursue more of and what to get rid of.
Yeah, it was a disappointing second game. I mean, it's harsh to judge them too meanly, Stay Fresh.
Yeah,
but I do certainly think you are completely right that they sort of lost the concentration a little bit in that second game, which means that when they look back at it, it'll be like, oh, this isn't how we play anyway. What can we take from this? So I do hope that we see a pure reset from them ahead of game 3. And, I mean, you know, we know how good Solary are. Their passes that they're finding are they're beautiful. So they're at least entertaining us a lot, these players. I just hope that we see a little bit more from Stay Fresh.
Yeah, this isn't me trying to tear down Stay Fresh in any way. This is me saying I hope that they're a team that comes in and can look at this and come back stronger in the next one. I want them to get as much out of this experience as they can. And that's just more coming from I don't know that they, looking at them right now, have what it takes to make it to day 2. It is going to be an insane run from them in turnaround if they can, one, take one down for this series and then come back at all, because I don't think they're going to take the overall series. They may get a match here, possibly in this game, but I don't think they take this series.
And if they do lose it, they will need to win 2 series in a row to go through in the Swiss. But you know, it could happen. They could come up against a more highly rated team that just happens to be favourable against, or equally, they could get 2 teams that are a little bit lower. There is, inarguably, an element of luck in the Swiss, so there's no reason they shouldn't be able to make it to week 3. The Last Resort did it in the first regional, pretty much defending their way to week 2, and they lost all 3 games in week 2, but hey, making it there, that is an achievement in and of itself. And they're playing better this third game, Stay Fresh. They seem more mature, they seem more disciplined, and they're getting shots.
Also, congrats out to Top Blokes being the first team to go ahead and qualify. They 3-0 swept Guild to be the first team to have 3 wins on the day. So we'll be seeing Top Blokes stage 2 shot on target, saved by Alex.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Coming through, that 4th man. Very strong here as he blocks that one out. It is an unfortunate situation. I'm sure he was trying to get out of the way, and it's one of those ones, once your wheels have left the ground, you see the ball coming at you, you're just like,
no.
What's happening? Yeah, please. Please, somebody get me out of this situation.
Agonizing. That would have been their first lead as well against Solary. But they could have it again. Nozzy into the corner. Yukis saves. They're looking good. Keep this up, Stay Fresh. This is what we want to see. But this is where the question marks are put to paper when they're in defense. Can they avoid the temptation to just chuck every single man at the person who has the ball? There is half a pass from Exotic. Nozzy well underneath it. And look at the space now that Swift is keeping. He was cheating, but a realistic distance, which meant when the ball go high, he was up for it. He was ready. Really good stuff.
Yeah, you can see them trying in the individual challenges. You can see that there's a better approach this round. Towards the end of that last round, or really probably for like the last 2 minutes, they were kind of just all over the place, each person bumping into each other. I'm not seeing as much of the double commits. There's much better spacing from the team so far. Again, right there, if this was the last game, Alex would have double committed on Nozzy, and we would have left an open net in the background. But instead, they come downfield, space out. Alex a little far forward on that one to give himself a shot opportunity, so he just tries to keep it alive. And Swift, bad turn and challenge. Kyrian gonna make him pay for it. The punish from Kyrian.
Just speed of Kyrian, the speed of thought, the control. Oh, look at that, the disguise as well on his touch. Setting himself up for that easy finish. There was the other 2 players from Stay Fresh rotating around the other side. Nowhere near the ball on that occasion, but now is the moment where you start to think, right, are Stay Fresh going to continue to stay disciplined, or are they going to do what they did at the end of the second game there and just chuck everything at the ball? I hope that we see them continue to play their game, because it is sort of working. You know, they're getting opportunities, and they do have a goal in them this third game, I would say, especially with Solary being a little bit silly with these pre-jumps. Can certainly be punished if they can just get these right touches out of defense at the right time. But there's a really good pass towards you, because he gets the second one as well, but Nozzy was well situated to save it.
Yeah, I would say the look that this is the best. This Game 3 version of Stay Fresh, I think, is the best rotationally and least number of mistakes. The scoreboard isn't showing it as their best game, obviously, because Game 1, it was they got 2 goals in. But this team could have been doing, well, Exotic going to score on them, but this team looks cleaner in rotation. Defense, though, still the issue as they break down.
Another lovely passing play from Solary, but I'd say now there's a nice new fun issue that Stay Fresh have, which is that when they get a clean touch on the ball, because they're spacing out better, the ball is landing to one player in particular at any given time, any of the 3. And they're not taking their time when that happens. A few times the ball has fallen, and they have had all the time and space in the world to take a touch and then maybe look for a flick or try and get a decent 50-50 And instead, they're just dodging it, rolling it along the floor, back into Solary's path. But that's okay, you know, they've fixed one issue, another one has emerged. Let's fix that one and see where we stand.
Yeah, this is now fixed. Again, that's kind of what we were saying about the tape. Yukis almost gets one, kicks it back out. Nazi gonna be there to kick it downfield. Carrying with a miss. Opportunity. Swift makes the touch. No one's home, and they score a goal.
Well done.
Their goals do come in these types of situations and kind of awkward touches, and they do end up punishing the overcommit of Solary. This is the downfall, typically, of this Solary team and what happened to them throughout the rival series. When they got punished, it's because they would send the house. The backfield would get opened up. They ended up finding that here and get a goal. They did have the isolation against Exotic, but just could not keep control over that ball.
That was so disappointing. Alex didn't have the boost. He still could have got his flick, but he just wasn't able to do it with nothing in the tank. Could have been 2-all, but it still could be. 30 seconds left. That one pinches over into the center. Exotic's chasing it. Yukis is there as well. Here comes Swift. He's faked out Yukis. Don't think he meant to, but it'll do the job. Now Alex to the side. He has Swift waiting for him as well. Good approach from Stay Fresh. All we need is one decent touch, and this could be the goal. This is it from Swift, is it? No, Carrion's too quick, but Alex is coming in. His touch, not ideal though, just wide. He could have put that one on target. That could have been a goal. Carrion's touch is towards Yukis. Alex is coming in. Do we get one more chance for Stay Fresh? Nozzy is coming in where he's not needed. And that surely will be game over. Solary take it by 3-0. And they did what had to be done. I don't think, in fairness, they can take too much from that series. They did the job. But what can Stay Fresh take from that?
Stay Fresh can take one in that last game. Other than defensive rotation, offensively, there was better presence. They were able to get downfield. They were able to get more shots. They created more opportunities, and that was due to their spacing in their rotation, less double commits in the midfield, which also, in turn, helped them many times on the back end because they didn't isolate a guy in a 1v1 situation. The problem is under sustained pressure or multiple shots, they are trying to outlet to midfield to get boost way too often. They end up in situations on defense where they send two guys to take both midfield boosts, and they leave one guy back who's still on their way back, and it just ends up being overcommitting on the defensive side. So if they can clean up defense, I think that they can be a much stronger team. We would have seen a better performance. It's the defensive rotation, from what I saw, that needs.
Well, they qualified for this event in 17th to 20th of the closed qualifiers, so they weren't even at the top of the seeds in qualifying for this event, and they've come up against Solary, and they've at least made them ask a few questions of themselves while learning a few answers of their own. So I think there's a lot that Stay Fresh can take from that. But as it stands, Stay Fresh go to 1-2 in the Swiss standings, and Solary move to 2-1. The only game they've lost was that 3-2 against BDS, so they could already be through if it wasn't for that. Otherwise, there's way more Rocket League to come. Make sure you let us know on Twitter what you thought of the game so far by using the hashtag RLCS and @RL Esports. But otherwise, stick around. There's so much more to come.